Scanning. Identity authorized. Welcome to the Secret Superhero Club Podcast Network.
Welcome to episode 186 of the Animation Station Podcast. My name is Josh.
And I'm Gavin.
And Gavin, it's been a while since we've actually been in the same room, chatting.
It's been a little while. What was the last episode I was on? What was it?
When did you leave?
Oh, it was Teen Titans Go to the Movies, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you recorded. Did you record that here?
I was here in California. You were yet to be in California.
Yeah.
So that was like last year sometime.
But what was the last one that we recorded together?
Oh, in the same room?
In the same room.
That was in Oklahoma.
Yeah. So 2 years ago for you?
Jeez Louise. It's been a while.
It was probably something.
Yeah.
Was it a Cars?
Maybe. Cars 3? Something like that?
Something like that.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, jeez.
We did go to see that in the IMAX together for my birthday.
Yep, that was the only reason that we saw that. It was because it was your birthday.
Honestly, the Pixar sequels, I'm tired of, man. I'm
tired of, like,
enjoy
most
Toy
every
Story
sequel.
4. I agree. Sequel-itis, I'm over it. You know, this whole world of sequels that we live in. It's okay, I think, if something was conceived originally as a series. You know, if it's like, hey, here's the first installment of a 4-movie series, and they know that going in, I'm fine. But if it's something like Toy Story or Cars, where they just created it as a standalone movie, and then because they just want to rehash old successes, are like, oh, we can make more of a story here. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Why didn't they do that with A Bug's Life, though? Was Bug's Life
not a
not
popular
like a
film?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it had its moment when it came out, but it's not a.
It wasn't
most
one
people
where
don't
everyone's
list
like,
it.
Oh,
Like if you go top 5 Pixar, 100 people out of 100 people are not going to list
So is
A
it
Bug's
just-
Life unless it's me, you, or Charlie.
okay. So it's just
We're
like the
only
three
ones.
of us
Yes.
that are like A
Yeah.
Bug's Life.
I mean, they totally erased A Bug's Land from the park. It's no longer there. I don't think there's one Bugs attraction that still exists. It's in Animal Kingdom.
Ant-Man.
No, it's an actual Bugs Life attraction.
Oh.
In Animal Kingdom. It's the Bugs Life theater that they had here is out there too.
I never went to A Bug's Land. They had just closed it down on my first trip out here.
That's true. Yeah.
Like I think I had missed it by like 2 or 3 weeks. Because when we came for D23, they were like, "Oh, it's gone."
Yeah.
And like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah, it's
And then Guardians was like, "Oh, you want to ride
yeah,
Guardians?
that's right,
You
when
can't
they had
even ride
opened
yeah.
Guardians as the new version of the tower. So yeah, you know, so it's just not popular. You don't see merchandise for those characters. You don't see.
We saw like a Heimlich something when you and I
Somebody
went for
in line in front of us had a Heimlich backpack.
It was very stylized.
It was like it was from Box Lunch or something.
Yeah, I bet
it
it was
wasn't
probably
like
from
from the parks because I want to get something for Charlie like all the time. That's Heimlich, and there's never anything.
What was the name of the scouts? What did they call it?
Scouts?
Yeah, the scouts that the little princess was part of. They called them the something scouts because they were like the Girl Scouts.
Oh, the blueberries.
The blueberry scout. Okay,
The blueberries.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, I didn't know what you were talking
I was
about.
wondering. I was
there
like,
for a
what the
second.
heck were they called?
Yeah, the blueberries. That Frances ends up being the whatever den mother.
The den
for.
mother.
It's very clever.
It's
really
It's
good.
a good movie.
Like any CG movie, like the animation is super dated at this point. You know, yeah, it looks pretty bad at this point. But the artistry at that time was really good, and the characters are really good, and the story is awesome. So yeah, I really dig it.
Nice. And on this episode of the Animation Station Podcast, welcome to Tangents. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the new Netflix animated movie Klaus. And then at the end, you know, you could stay in or you can tune out. But I agree, honk. At least the guy's not coming around, you know, with a...
Where Josh lives now is right next door to where I live, and we live right on Alliance Avenue, and it's a lively street.
Oh my goodness. Oh, if only we would have been recording on Tuesday night.
Oh, when the car accident happened?
Gosh.
Oh,
that was
crazy.
so loud.
I thought a car hit our building.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to be talking about Klaus, and then at the end, Gavin and I are going to talk about the first 2 episodes of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. It needs its own jingle.
It's just got that sound. It's like a...
Yeah, because I mean, like Disney Channel, like bam, 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 bam. It needs something like that.
Yeah. I don't know if they will or not, because it's kind of like the Netflix Hulu thing where it's just a sound effect, right? Yeah, and like Hulu's like the wong thing, so I think they're trying to just be like the crowd in that case.
Well, see, I was thinking about this because Disney Plus, and I see all these things, and like I go and I'm like, oh, that's that theme song from that thing. Oh, that's that theme song from the intro. But like, we don't get a lot of that anymore. Have you noticed, like, there's not a lot of TV shows and everything that do...
Oh, they have, like, a whole...
theme songs.
Like, Friends theme song.
Exactly, yeah. Because, I mean, like we were doing X-Men earlier.
Yeah, I think one of the styles now is just to have, like, a title flash with maybe, like, a small little 3-note thing. But, yeah, it's... People want quick. They want to get to the show. People want to binge. That's why there's the skip intro button. People don't care about the intros. Just like they don't care about commercials. We allowed them to skip commercials. Now we're allowing them to skip the intro too. So a lot of the shows that are being made now are just like, well, everybody's going to skip this. Why waste time on it?
Yeah, but it just kind of sucks though.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I like the intros.
Especially like really catchy ones. Like just thinking about some of them that were like really, really good. Like MASH. Well, I mean, it doesn't really... I was talking about something that had like a thing that you could sing along with.
Oh, like Family Guy? I know you're not a big Family Guy fan.
But I mean, Family Guy has one. Family Guy's like, it's got a really catchy one. I mean, X-Men. But I mean, like, there's no words to X-Men, but like everybody knows the X-Men song.
Sure.
The Gummy Bears, Chip and Dale, like Rescue Rangers.
Yeah.
Like Tailspin, that boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Good, fun stuff like that.
Right.
iCarly's got one.
Oh my gosh!
You know the iCarly one?
No.
Oh, why don't you watch? Why don't you watch?
Because
iCarly?
I was a grown adult when that came out. I did not watch, and I didn't have Disney Channel. So
did you watch The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
No.
Well, congratulations. Guess what? It is on Disney Plus. Yes. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and The Sweet Life on Deck, which is okay.
Which is what on
Gavin,
a ship?
Well, here's the thing. Gavin, tell me what you think The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody is about. Sweet spelled S-U-I-T-E.
Yeah, I know. They live in a suite, like a hotel suite, right?
They live in a hotel, yes.
Yeah, it's like Madeline or whatever.
What do you think The Sweet Life on Deck is about?
They live in a suite on a ship, a cruise ship, is my guess.
That is 100% accurate, my friend.
Yes!
They go to school.
They're going
into like a floating school.
Oh my god!
And it is on a cruise ship.
School at sea? That's ridiculous.
It's Disney Channel.
I know.
Bum.
Those Disney live action shows on the Disney Channel were so weird because, the only time I ever saw them is like, let's say I was in a waiting room at a car dealership waiting for my oil to be changed or something, and they had a TV on and it was Disney Channel, or a doctor's office, right?
Yeah,
That's
like
the
doctor's
only time
office.
I've ever
it would be
seen
really weird to see like The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody at a car dealership. Doctor's office.
Well,
makes more
usually
sense.
they've got the separate room where the kids hang out.
You're just
and they've
hanging
got
out
a
with
TV.
the kids.
That's
where
where
you're
I always hang out because
pediatrics.
I don't want to sit out in the lobby and watch Good Morning America. And
that's
lose
fair.
my
That's
mind. Fair. So yeah, that's the only chance I ever saw those shows. They always seem so overly synthesized, like the sets seem so ridiculous, the acting seems unbelievable. There's nothing like a Disney Channel live action show. They're like this weird style of show making unto themselves, and I don't understand them at all.
And then the movies are always, it's weird, like the movies all have the exact same feel. Like not like big budget cinema,
right,
but not like low budget like YouTube or something like that.
Right.
It's this weird combination middle ground. Almost like a soap opera.
Kind of.
Yeah. Like I saw on there they've got Xenon Girl of the 20th century. I remember watching that. I need to see if they have Alley Cat Strike on there. That's the bowling
Well,
one.
they're rolling more out as it goes. Like the whole offering isn't out yet. So it'll be interesting.
I did watch. So far, the only thing I've watched on Disney Plus, I've watched Miracle, and I've watched The Mandalorian.
The hockey one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
Who knows?
I think The Mandalorian. That's it.
And The Mandalorian. That's it.
Oh, okay.
I think watching Miracle made me want to watch.
Mighty Ducks.
No, yes, but which they're rebooting, made me want to watch Friday Night Lights, and I think that's why I went and bought Friday Night Lights.
Got it.
For ridiculously cheap.
Yeah,
like,
you did get a
insane cheap, like $6 a season cheap.
Yeah,
and crazy, and it's on
nice.
Blu-ray. But yeah, so there is a little bit of news.
Oh,
first off, The Dragon Prince season 3 premieres on Friday. And you can check out our wonderful episode that we did with the creators and most of the cast at Anime Week in Atlanta. We did a season 2 finale, so season 2 episode 9, titled Breathe. Commentary episode where we had them do the commentary. That is up on all of our stuff.
I didn't really get to listen to that, but is it set
well,
up
it wouldn't make any sense unless you watch the show.
Right.
Yes, we've got it
Can
set
you
up.
sync it up?
Yes.
Oh,
we've got it set to where Paula Burrows, who plays Rayla, she basically says 3, 2, 1, play. And so you hit play with Rayla, and then there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
We're going to do more of those. We're going to call them ASP Aux. So ASP AUX, like for auxiliary, since it's a supplemental episode.
Oh, clever you.
So we're going to do ASP Aux, and then
I was
you can
picturing
do
the
that.
Beast of Burden pulling a plow cart.
An OX?
An OX, yes.
An OX. When I think Beast of Burden, I think Boxer the horse from Animal Farm. May he rest in peace, poor Boxer.
This is Tangents.
This is Tangents. See, because like, you and I, we never talk. The most that we've talked was when we were at Disneyland.
It's not the most we've ever talked.
First
of all, we've been at Disneyland many times.
Yes, but not the two of us by ourselves.
Yeah, the first year we came out to the D23 Expo.
We were never by. We were
the
by
whole first day. We were by ourselves.
No, because we ran into Tony. We were by ourselves for
the
about
first
30 minutes.
No, because we left at the crack of dawn from Oklahoma. We had a whole plane ride together. We had airports. We had getting to the resort.
Yeah, but we don't talk on planes.
We did.
I almost threw up.
You did.
I don't know why. That the only time I've ever felt any sort of in my stomach on a plane. I don't know why. It's just like, oh man, I feel like I'm going to throw up. I had to stand up, went to the bathroom, totally fine. I just had to stand up for some reason.
Just clear the pipes, I guess. I don't know.
I guess.
Unkink something.
And it's just like, oh, well, I'm fine now. And then it's fine for the rest of the thing. It was just like, oh, we're good.
Nice.
It's probably because we sat in the back.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You do get
Airflow.
some different motion back there, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tangents.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess we talk.
Yeah, sometimes.
Usually. I see you a couple times a week at least now.
Yeah, I usually kind of spit at my direction. You're
like, whatever.
I'm just going to hold on to my T-Rex and cry. Gavin's mean to me. But no, we've got that episode, so you can watch that episode before, listen to that episode with the commentary before season 3 comes out on Friday. It was a lot of fun. They're all very nice people. Hopefully we're going to be doing more stuff with them in the future. I got feelers out there. They were they were nice enough to promote. How come?
I think you were telling me it's all Canadians and one Californian, right?
Basically, yes. Like the creators are in California, and of the voice actors, the only voice actor that I know that isn't Canadian is Jack DeSena, who plays Callum, who was Sokka in Avatar: The Last Airbender. You never watched Avatar?
I didn't.
Man.
No. Yeah.
Also, another bit of news: Disney news.
Ooh.
Disney news. So it came out that Disney is going to be doing a live action. Here you go. So everyone loves these.
Yikes.
Everyone loves these.
Yikes.
Disney, doing another live action.
Of course.
Would you like to take a wild guess what they're going to do a live action on?
I'm trying to remember if I heard about what this is or not.
It is an anime, so Japanese animation.
Oh, really?
It's a
Is
Japanese.
It from Ghibli?
No.
Oh, I've got no idea.
It's got Goku and Vegeta and Dragon Balls.
Dragon Ball Z?
Yes.
There's a bunch of iterations of that.
Yeah,
right?
it's well, the only thing they've said is they're doing a live action Dragon Ball.
Disney's doing this.
Disney.
They already did a live action Dragon Ball Z.
I know, and it was a great movie. But this
is a weird choice.
I think this
for
will
them.
be a series.
Okay.
Well, everyone's
on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. That's the rumors from a source that is pretty reliable. Mm-hmm. Like they're the ones who broke that they're going to be doing Aladdin 2 before Aladdin 2 was announced. So it's a very reliable source, and apparently Disney and Toei they've been kind of like this recently. So
okay.
It's a really good assumption that this is going to happen. So we're going to get a live action Dragon Ball with an all Asian cast.
That's cool.
Yeah. That was the thing. It didn't say
So
all Japanese cast,
move it
which
to,
I'm like, well,
Seattle,
you can see.
like what was the one with Willem Dafoe?
Death Note.
Yeah, they moved to Seattle.
It's the dark and dreary Pacific Northwest.
And whitewashed.
Yeah.
So
this one's it's supposedly an all Asian cast.
Well, that's cool.
Kind of like what Netflix is doing with Avatar. How they're doing a diverse cast and everything there, not just going to fully whitewash it. So it'll be interesting to see if that actually happens.
Yeah.
I think it will. It would be interesting. And, Disney, they got money they can throw behind it. So
Sure.
it's not like, who did that? Was that Fox?
I have no idea.
I
didn't see
remember.
it. Charlie saw it. You saw it. I didn't see it. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not as bad as people think.
I don't know. I feel like it's the same way I feel about comic books. I feel like they work
We
as
had a
animated
whole discussion
films.
about comic books this morning.
We did.
We should have recorded that and put that in the extras.
Yeah, maybe. It was more of an argument than a fun discussion. But I feel like comic books work as animated movies, but I'm not interested in them as live action movies.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel the same with manga or anime, like that kind of works. But when you bring it live action, I don't know. There's something lost in translation for me.
Yeah.
Like it seems silly. Like honestly, Batman seems silly to me, like as live action.
Oh yeah,
animated series, I can get down with.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Like I love it, but I don't know. There's something lost there for me. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Because the Disney studio, I know you want to mash it all together, but Marvel is like a standalone studio with Disney money. But Disney hasn't really done a whole lot with superhero action-y like stuff.
They did like Big Hero 6, and that's basically it.
That's it, and that's barely, it's like, Bolt. Yeah, that was
which is just the Canine Crunchies thing.
Right.
He's just the dog from Canine Crunchies.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's the best. I'll say that's one of the best parts of Hunter on that movie.
I like that movie. It's really good.
Yep. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was basically my point.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I think Disney, they have enough money that they can throw at it, and I mean, with what they did with Aladdin and everything, they put a lot of work into that to make it. Is inclusive the word that I'm looking for?
Representation.
Yes, representative. That's the word. Like they did a really good job in that. So
sure.
I can see them doing something. And from what they're doing with Mulan, which we haven't really have we seen? Have they even done a teaser for Mulan yet? I mean, it's weird because it comes out next year. I bet Star Wars. Probably Papa Mulan in Star Wars. I can see that.
Yeah.
At least just give us a teaser. Be like, a tale as old as time. Beauty and the Beast.
I mean, between the sequels and the remakes, it's all so boring, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to see Frozen 2 in a couple weeks here, but do I wish they were giving us something original? 100%.
They said, didn't they announce some new movie?
They've got some new ones coming out.
Like recently, though.
The 2 new Pixar ones.
Yeah, Pixar.
So the next one is Onward, which I think it looks really fun.
Oh, okay.
And then the one after that is Soul.
That's it.
Yeah, and that looks like it's got some really interesting potential. It looks like quite a different direction for kind of in the same way Coco was a different direction. It seems like Soul is going to kind of walk down some similar paths, but kind of carve out its own territory. So I like that. I like that the next two Pixars are original movies, you know, like finally give us something that's new. Yeah. So I don't know. I look forward to those, but no more sequels for a while.
Yeah,
like we're tired of sequels.
Onward, I was like, it sounded really, really good, and I was really on board until we saw what the characters look like.
Why don't you like the characters?
I don't know. It just took me out, man.
Huh.
Like, I just seeing them, I'm just like, oh, it's weird. It's like Planet 51 almost.
Which is an awesome movie.
I'm not saying it's not a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I don't want to see that again. Like, when you say, like, there's these fairies and everything like that, I'm like, you could have done anything that you wanted to do, and that's what you went for. And that's what kind of, like, irks me.
Huh.
And then it's almost got the same humor as Troll Hunters. And I'm like, Troll Hunters already did that. Like, you know how it's got, like, the unicorns eating from the garbage because they're trash monsters? I'm like, yeah, that's basically what Troll Hunters would have done. Like, if they would have had unicorns. Because they did that with the gnomes.
It's interesting, though, because when I first saw it, I was like, this looks like a DreamWorks film.
I know.
And you like DreamWorks, so I figured
do like
you might like this one. Well, I hope you can give it a chance. Watch it with an open mind.
I mean, I'll watch it, but it's one of those things where I'm not like, oh my gosh, day one, I'm gonna go see it. You know?
Yeah.
Sonic, on the other hand, did you see the new Sonic trailer?
I did not.
Oh, bro,
that can't be good, can it?
It looks really good.
Is there an actual story to Sonic the Hedgehog, the video game?
Yeah, he's a hedgehog and Dr.
fast.
Robot. Well, it depends. Like in the second game, which is the only one I played, Dr. Robotnik is like, he got some gem and he's like capturing all the forest creatures, and you're a hedgehog and you're like, wait, I live in the forest. There you go. Like, I must save all the forest critters.
That's a movie pitch right there.
Well, I mean, like that's the only one I played, but I mean, like they get
Is the game set in San Francisco? Because it seems like the movie's set in San Francisco.
No,
because isn't one of the posters of him standing up on the Golden Gate Bridge?
Yeah, doesn't mean the game's in San Francisco.
Well, where are they pulling this story from? Is it just a random new Sonic?
Well, is
it like Sonic in Our World?
Yeah,
Detective Pikachu.
Yes, because they did that in Sonic X. Was one of the big one. Was
that a game?
Animated series.
Oh, I didn't know that was the thing.
Yeah, they've done a bunch of Sonic. Sonic is more popular as an animated series franchise than he is a video game character.
I had no idea that
the
was
last
a thing.
couple Sonic games have not been good, but
I thought Sonic was a game from like 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they don't stop. It's like Mario, dude.
Yeah, but I
They keep
never see
coming out with
any.
Mario.
I just never see any.
Well,
Sonic
they haven't made it.
anymore.
They haven't made a good one in a while, so nobody talks about it. But the animated
Sega
series
doesn't
still
make
good.
a gaming system anymore, right?
No.
They just make games.
Yeah, they just like whore their stuff out to whoever wants it. Really.
So where can you play Sonic? On
Anywhere.
Xbox? Is it like
Xbox,
cross-platform?
PlayStation. You can play Sonic on Nintendo. That's the thing.
Wow,
Like Sega
that's
now.
weird.
Sega now is just like, you know what? We don't want to do this whole game thing because then we're limiting ourselves to only one console. We'll just sell all the consoles. You want Sega? You want Sonic on your phone? Sonic on your phone. They're just like, here you go, take it.
Well, that's
Which
smart.
is smart from Sega. That's why
Yeah.
Sega's still relevant.
Wow.
Because they were just like, here, you want
Yeah.
it? People want to play the game, play the game.
I feel like that stuff's getting easier for the game developers to do, is make it cross-compatible. I even play a mobile racing game on my phone that I've played for years. And this last year, it got so popular finally that they developed it for consoles. So now I'm seeing pop-up ads like, hey, you can play this on your Switch now too. You can play this on your Xbox. And it started as just a mobile
game. You'll soon be
game.
able to play it, Gavin. Are you excited?
I mean, I played it on my phone. I'm good.
Yeah, but you can play it on your big screen now. And
I
look
don't
at
have a
your
gaming
cool-
system.
You will.
What?
Wait for Christmas.
Oh my gosh, we don't need a gaming system. We don't play
Oh,
games.
I'm not gonna buy you a gaming system. I'm gonna give you a hand-me-down. You're
You're
welcome. You're welcome, Gavin.
But maybe we want a new thing.
What you want? Get a Switch.
No, like just the Blu-ray player.
Oh, of Gross. Why would you just want a Blu-ray player?
I mean,
What's the point of that?
the same point as our old PlayStation 3 is right now, to play Blu-rays and to have our streaming apps.
Well, I'm not sure you can get the streaming apps on just the Blu-ray
Yeah,
player.
you can. Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Absolutely.
If you want to be a buster, just get a...
I will have you know I'm a proud buster.
I was gonna say buster.
Buster.
I am a buster, sir.
I'm a buster as I push up my glasses.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks good. I mean, yeah, that was the whole point of Sonic X. Like, Sonic got like taken from his world and put into our world.
Interesting.
So I think that's like kind of where they're going with it. And now he's trying to get home. And this one, like, they completely changed the trailer. So like the trailer's actually funny. Mm-hmm. Whereas like the last trailer was just like, oh.
Who's the voice of Sonic?
That's a fantastic question, Gavin.
Does he speak? Because
Yes.
he doesn't speak in the games.
Mm-hmm. He goes, I'm Sonic. Watch me go fast. Give me a chili dog.
He says that in the games?
Yeah.
Oh, I never.
And he's like, Tails.
Well, to be fair, the only one I ever saw was the Sonic that was on the Sega Genesis in, the early 90s? And I don't think he spoke in that one.
It's Ben Schwartz.
Who's Ben Schwartz?
Jean-Ralphio.
No way. Oh, that's cool.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Ben Schwartz. Jean-Ralphio.
yeah.
All right, I gotta see it now. I mean, like, you gotta see it now. It's got Jean-Ralphio.
I'll listen to you tell me about it.
It's got Jean-Ralphio, Jim Carrey, and Cyclops.
Jim Carrey's in it? Mm-hmm. That's cool.
He's Dr. Robotnik.
Oh,
Or is it
he's
Eggman?
the villain.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. Like, they went to just calling him Eggman now. It's dumb because his body is shaped like an egg, and he is a man. So but he's Dr. Robotnik.
What's also interesting about that is
You don't care.
George Martin, the producer of the Beatles, when he retired, he produced an album where he gathered all of his favorite people to record an album of Beatles songs as like a swan song production project for himself. And on that album, Jim Carrey sang, I Am the Eggman. How crazy is that?
See, trivia that you probably wouldn't have known.
If I wasn't here
If-
to drop this knowledge, you'd never connect these
And you
dots.
said it was George Harrison?
George Martin,
Oh,
the
okay.
producer of the Beatles.
Oh, okay. I thought he was
Yeah.
George Harrison. I'm like, that
No.
crazy Beatle.
Yeah, he is a wacky Beatle. Josh just crossed
I
himself.
just crossed myself. That's
Even though
like
he's
the
not
third time
Catholic.
I've crossed myself. You want to talk about, you ready to talk about Klaus?
Heck yeah.
All right, so spoilers, everybody. Earmuffs if
Yep.
you... Actually, no. Hold on. No earmuffs.
Just pause,
No earmuffs.
stream it,
Pause it.
unpause.
Watch Klaus. We'll wait for you. Welcome back, everybody. What was that?
It was a garage door, I think.
But it was like up here.
Well, it shook the whole building, I guess.
Oh,
it was
weird.
It was a forceful garage door
I
ring.
guess. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed Klaus. So Gav, let's talk about it.
Let's.
Let's. Well, we're gonna give you the IMDb trivia or the IMDb plot written by Netflix.
Perfect.
Ooh, do you want the long one or the short one?
How long is the long one?
Not horribly long.
Oh yeah, read that.
Okay.
Read that.
When Jasper, Jason Schwartzman, distinguishes himself as the Postal Academy's worst student, he is stationed on a frozen island above the Arctic Circle, where the feuding locals hardly exchange words, let alone letters. Just whenever
I like
they
how you
pop
went
those
cheesy.
in there.
Yeah.
Jasper is about to give up when he finds an ally in local teacher Alva, Rashida Jones, and discovers Klaus, Oscar winner J.K. Simmons. They want you to know.
Oh, yeah.
He won an
He won an
Oscar.
Oscar.
A mysterious carpenter who lives alone in a cabin full of handmade toys. These unlikely friendships return laughter to Schmierensburg. Is it Schmierensburg?
Smearensburg, yeah.
Smearensburg. Forging a new... we just literally watched it, but they said the name like 3 times.
Yeah.
Smearensburg. Forging a new legacy of generous neighbors, magical lore, and stockings hung by the chimney with care. An animated Christmas comedy directed by Despicable Me co-creator Sergio Pablo. Klaus co-stars Joan Cusack, Will Sasso, and Norm Macdonald. And I apologize, Pablo, if I said your name incorrectly.
Yeah, it was a great cast, first of all. I really liked the voice acting. Generally, I was very pleased with this movie.
Yes.
You know, we'll get into the nitty gritty. I just had like one or two tiny criticisms of
same.
it, but yeah, I really enjoyed it from end to end.
I didn't like that it made me feel
feelings.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't. It's,
you weren't prepared on this early Saturday?
It's early on a Saturday morning, and I was like, Josh is a hardened criminal. Like, he's watched. I mean, he's currently going right now through Friday Night Lights again.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
that's football.
I'm hard.
You don't cry in football.
Yeah. No. You do not cry. You do not cry in Texas football.
Yeah.
The Dillon Panthers. By the way, that dude, I love that dude's radio voice. The announcer guy is like, and here comes the Dillon Panthers. Matt Saracen is. I just love it so much. It's so good. But no, yeah, I mean, you don't cry in Dillon. Mm-hmm. Look at Tim Riggins. Tim Riggins' father left him. I'm just kidding.
Well, he traded crying for drinking, for underage drinking.
I mean,
look
at Matt Saracen.
So much.
Matt Saracen didn't have his dad. His dad came back, got mad at his dad. His dad decided to stay, and then when they were becoming a loving family unit, his dad has to go back to Iraq. And you know what happens in season 3, Gavin? Or is it 4?
I don't remember what you're referring to.
Saracen's dad dies in Iraq, and he goes to coach, and that's the one time Matt Saracen cries. And you're like,
that dude was holding together the world for half of those seasons, man. Like the stuff that kid was having to do. This is a super tangent, by the way.
And he's just like, Coach Julie.
Oh my gosh.
That's my Matt Saracen impression. Is it pretty good? I've been working on it.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Coach.
It's pretty good. It's interesting because in the same way that I tell people, like, I don't care if you hate NASCAR, you can still give cars a chance, Pixar cars, and you can still love it. You don't have to be a NASCAR fan. You do not have to care anything about football, even high school football, to like Friday Night Lights. It's that good of a show.
Because you know what I've also noticed rewatching this? The amount of football that is played in Friday Night Nights.
Maybe 10% of the show. Maybe.
Yeah. Because they always start, it's the fourth quarter and they're down by 6. Like, it's like every single episode. Like, and here comes Matt Saracen out to bring, it's like, they're down 13-6 or 7. And you're like, oh no, what's going to happen?
Yeah. Hail Mary pass.
Mm-hmm. Or like, hands the ball to Smash and there goes Smash.
I forgot about Smash.
Smash. He started taking the steroids, but he's clean now. He's clean.
Up his chance, man.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers.
He messed himself up, but not as bad as Jason Street.
Redirect.
Anyway, Klaus. Texas forever.
Oh my gosh, you're hogging it.
Okay. Anyway, so what are we talking about? Oh yeah, Klaus. So so I really love the voice cast. Like, you and me both. I think we were both on here. I was trying to place who played Alva.
Yes.
While we're watching, I'm like, the voice is so familiar. And then it's Rashida Jones. You'd be like, oh.
And you stupid, beautiful sunfish.
Ann Perkins. Oh, man.
Very good.
Yeah, like, I thought that was great. I was like, oh, that's Rashida Jones.
Yeah, she was good. I thought everybody did a fantastic job. I think, like, Jason Schwartzman is one of my favorite actors. I love him. And I was really worried in the first maybe 5 to 10 minutes that we saw him. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is going to get annoying because of the way he played his spoiled character. But that's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Schwartzman. I love that. And then his growth throughout the movie made it like, okay, the juxtaposition with where he started and where he ends is perfect.
It's definitely one of those where, like, it's like they made it and they were like, man, who should we get? Think Jason Schwartzman's available? I mean, we kind of wrote it with him in mind because it's like perfect.
It really does. And it's neat the way that they do that opening segment because, you know, he's at this school, but he's just taking every liberty. Like, he runs the place and he's the worst student.
He's
there.
wearing a muumuu.
And then
basically.
You find out that he's the son of the postmaster general, so he can get away with this crap. And I love that his father doesn't play into nepotism, but is like, you're awful, so you basically need a kick in the pants.
North Pole,
which is
where you're more than likely going to fail.
Yeah, which is the catalyst, of course, for the whole story.
I loved his design too.
The character design in the whole movie was
Like
great.
nobody looks the same, and I love that.
I know you do
That-
like
I
that, and
love that so much.
Every character in the background had a look. Mm-hmm. It was really good.
Yeah, that was one thing I was going to talk about. It's like I love that background characters. Background characters are so hard for most people because they're like, oh shit, I just gotta same thing, cut and paste.
Right.
But like this, they're like. There were a couple of people that were similar because they were siblings, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, you two are obviously siblings because you kind of look the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, like everybody was different, and I loved it. Different, like especially between the Crumbs and the Essel.
Ebelgo. What was it? Evergo?
Hold on, we got this.
Oh man, what was it? We just watched it.
It's the Ellingbows.
Ellingbow.
So like the Crumbs and the Ellingbows, like you can tell like which ones are the Crumbs and which ones are not just by the hair, but like the facial
the dress,
structure,
like
and everything.
One crew was almost all in black and white. And the other crew
the
had,
Crumbs.
like,
The Crumbs are almost like kind of like early like Quaker, like
they were kind
Protestant-y.
of all like Wednesday Addams.
Yes,
basically.
especially that one girl
Who kept stabbing the snowmen with carrots.
like your things like. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Like those guys were like like the Crumbs were like the killers basically,
Yeah.
and then the Ellingbows, those are the ones that were messing with the old man in the rocking chair.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was great, and like he's like up on top of the roof. She's like, "What the Ellingbow?" I thought that was great.
It's classic pranking right there.
It was
Wake up
good.
on the roof.
They're like sawing him off and like drifting him out to sea. Just like, no, he's dead, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I thought that was really good. Like yeah, all that stuff. Like there are a lot of little like gags throughout that, you know, are obviously meant to be there. But it's one of those like I feel like they put those in just to kind of like round out the story, not thinking that a lot of people are going to find them. Like did you notice the sleigh? Like when he's first getting there, his wheels on his little buggy, how one, like the two in front are a little bit more narrow because like here, and like the two in the back are wider, and like it actually, they do a really good job of like actually showing like the treads, how they're mismatched.
Oh yeah.
And like whenever he turns, they actually like join like actual tire treads would.
Right.
And I was like, that's detail that you didn't have to put.
Yeah.
You could literally just like, you know, they formed the exact same line.
Right.
But they didn't. And I was just like, just little stuff like that. Like in the opening bit with the envelopes, how like the envelopes were falling and like some of them would like land a certain way and like almost like do like a little twirl. I'm like, man, little touches like that. I love little touches like that.
Yeah, it was done really well. It didn't seem like they skimped on details.
No.
You know, on lighting and texture and just animated details everywhere. And, you know, even some of the things that were happening in the background while the main action was happening in the foreground seemed fully realized, you know? And I thought it was well executed from top to bottom. You know, I really enjoyed that. So like we talked about the characters and their designs. I also thought that the animation of the characters was done really well. Like their movements never seemed awkward. They seemed really natural. They seemed like they really existed in that world, like they were weighted to the ground that they were standing on. And that's always a tough trick in animation. You know, some things that come out, you know, based on talent level or budget, you know, it seems like, oh, that's a neat background and that's a neat character, but they don't look like they're in the same space sometimes, or they're like stuck to each other. You know what I mean? This one had that, and it was really good, really convincing. Different size characters carried different weight. You know, there were some really big characters in this, and they clomped with pounding footsteps, and, you know, they moved with much more weight and strength, and you could feel that. It was palpable, you know, and you had little tiny characters and spindly characters like Jesper himself, you know, who was a kind of an Ichabod Crane kind of weakling kind of character, you know, and they all were convincing in the physics aspect. So I thought it was impressive, really impressive.
It just the backgrounds are really good, and
Dude,
and this is another
okay.
thing. Like this is
We
a
have to
2D
talk
movie.
about the
This
background.
is a hand drawn movie. Like it definitely doesn't look like it, but that is because all right, Josh, think back to Lightbox Expo. They created a special lighting program that displays shadows in such a unique way that made this 2D, this hand-drawn movie, 2D movie, look like it was like a full CGI, like that 3D CGI stuff that is all the rage and popular. So love that.
It's a cool effect for sure. They've kind of tried to do the opposite with CG in several things where they have a 3D thing and they try and kind of paint it and cast it as though it's 2D, kind of like that Godzilla series, kind of like things like Paperman, the short film. This kind of approaches it from a different angle and to great effect. It looked beautiful. The backgrounds in this, I was pleased as punch. My jaw was on the floor half of this movie just looking at the background. The stylization of it was genius. They took a lot of inspiration from my favorite Disney artist. It was clear as day to me that they took a lot of cues from Ivan Durrell, who is most famous for being the production designer on Sleeping Beauty. But he has a very stylized way of trees and especially snow and trees and different organic naturalistic shapes in landscapes. They were definitely taking cues from him, and I loved that. And then the way that they colored it and lit it was just mind-blowingly good. I was so impressed with it. This is a movie I would love one of those art of books for.
Well,
it reminded me of like the cartoon saloon movies, like Song of the Sea and Secret of Kells, where it's just every shot is a work of art, and I really appreciate it.
Well, if you'd like me to, I unfortunately am not going to make the visit where you could actually like meet them and they'll sign the book for you. But they're doing that thing at Gallery Nucleus where they're doing the art book.
Nice.
And I'll be there on Saturday for the Sergio thing. So I was gonna pick myself up one.
Ooh.
So I'll send you you'll be at Designer Con.
Yes.
So I'll send you a link to see, or I'll send you a message to be like, hey, they're this much. Do you want one?
Nice.
So if you want one, just let me know. I'll grab one for you too. Because like watching this and like from everything that I had seen at Lightbox and everything, I was like, I'm ready for this movie.
Totally.
Story. Let's go story.
Okay.
What did you think of the story?
I thought it was really good. I like that they found a clever new way to tell us the story of Santa Claus. Spoiler if you didn't figure that out already.
Not like that old one from...
Not like the 10 million old ones. Where they show you a scenario and it plays out and the kids are just seeing this, what seems to them to be this magical thing, and this mythical guy that lives up the hill is making it all happen. And it just builds into this myth, that becomes Santa Claus. And they find clever ways, like when the kid sees them accidentally hurtling through the air with their sled, and they're actually on their way to an epic crash, but he just sees the moment where they're flying, and that becomes, the legend of he flies with reindeer on his sleigh. And lots of little things like that build up into the myth of Santa Claus that we see. So I liked that. I thought it was really cleverly done how they did it. It kind of at times felt a little like how the Grinch Stole Christmas with Whoville, and it kind of felt a little like Sleepy Hollow, like he's almost like an Ichabod Crane character, like I brought up. Some of it kind of felt like it had been done before, but they weave all those themes together in a clever way, and so I enjoyed the story a lot. What did you think?
I thought, me, I'm a big story guy. And like from start to finish on this, I was just waiting for the next bit. A lot of it, like you can definitely tell where they've taken cues from other things before, but the way that they were able to weave everything together to not make me be like, this is so dull or anything like that. Honestly, the worst parts for me was when we had to leave like Klaus and Jesper, and we had to go towards, like Joan Cusack and Will Sasso's characters, and they're like, we have to get them back feuding. That, to me, I was just like, yeah, no, we don't. No, just stay. I mean, I understand why we
foil,
do it.
Yeah,
we definitely need it, and like I completely understand that. But like to me, like I was just kind of like, man, like I don't want to go there.
I agree. The best bits were with Jesper and Klaus for sure. But
I did like Joan Cusack because I loved her just getting tired of everything. Just like, if I have to tell you.
I like that the leader of one clan was way smarter than the leader of the other clan. And she's like, how have we not beaten you yet?
It's so good.
Because he's so dumb. But it's cool because, this town is mired in a history of feuding. It's split down the middle. It's polarized. And all they remember, their whole history is feuding, one with the other. And, so that becomes your foil. There's not like an enemy, there's not a villain of this movie, it's just the villain is this idea that we will never get along.
The villain is history.
And it's cool how
screw it,
their simple acts one upon another bend the thinking of enough of the town that those that are feuding become the minority, and then it's like taken care of at a certain point. And it's a beautiful idea, it's a wonderful idea, and the way that they do it. And they did it incrementally enough. You knew what direction it was going, but they showed it to you incrementally so that you didn't feel like, oh, yeah, they already solved it, but we have half the movie to go.
Yeah, and I love how, like, it all starts with the kids, too.
Yes.
It's like, y'all want to get... I love that bit when he's all like, hey, kid, you want a toy? It's like, I love that. It's just like, you want some toys? Hey, you write a letter? You put it in a... Oh, you give me a penny. Get you a toy, like I love that. So like, and you see, it's like the kids are like, oh shoot, and then he does you don't want to be on the naughty list, do you? And you're like, oh shoot. So so it's like all the kids start being nice, not get on that naughty list, and like the berries, like the kids pick the berries. So like the Ellingbows pick a Crumb's berries, and the Crumb brings over the jam to the Ellingbows. And then the Ellingbows' mom brings a cake.
Pie.
A pie. That was totally a cake. That had layers, man. You can't layer a pie.
They did call it a pie, though, but you're right.
It's like this big. It's like, a pie.
Maybe in Smearsburg.
Possibly. They call pies cakes and cakes pies. Yeah. So, like, you can see, like, all of these little things. And, like, the daughter playing with, the Crumb guy whose little boy has the frog, gets hurt, gets nursed back to, gets helped by the Ellingbows, and then he makes them a nice little jungle gym thing. I'm like, all right, like everything and every step's like because the whole point of this thing is like an act of kindness. Is the theme throughout this entire thing. Like a selfless act of kindness can explode and promote more acts of kindness. And
I want to make a point of this because to me, that is an important part of the holiday season that gets glossed over by all the commercialism is acts of kindness are more important than almost anything because that it can really change the world, and we saw it in this film, and I think we could see it in reality if it was practiced, And so I think it's a good lesson for young and old, just like the characters.
We kind of still do it. I mean, the only time that you hear about it is like if you're listening to the radio and they're like, "Yeah, they're doing the thing at Starbucks where you're paying for the guy behind you." That whole thing. That's basically what the pay it forward, like the random acts of kindness has become. It's just like paying for Starbucks. That's basically it.
That's when you order a lot.
Yeah. And the
I'm sorry. That's terrible.
And the person is like, $648. Like, are they getting it for like the entire building? Like what?
That's ridiculous. But I like the way that the town is designed as well. It reminded me a lot of the Box Trolls. But instead of it being on a hill, around a hill, it's more like in a canyon almost.
Not enough cheese.
Not enough cheese.
More fish.
But I loved it. I love the extreme verticality of it, and his journey up to the woodcarver's cabin, especially that first time, like across perilous little rickety bridges and stuff, is really well done. Again, that kind of reminded me of Whoville and the Grinch living way up high and all that. But it seemed like the design of the town also played into a lot of the story, you know, and how they're on this compact island together and they can't escape each other. So it makes sense that a feud would continue because they're right in each other's face all the time, you know, and if they're feuding, then it's just going to exacerbate things, right?
Yeah.
But it also stands to reason that if they can turn that off and turn over a new leaf, they're right there to help each other too. And I thought that was really cool the way they did that.
Yeah. So what did you think of like the character designs? Like, because we talked about background characters, we didn't really talk too much.
The main characters?
Yeah.
I liked all of the designs, really. I liked the facial structures that they chose. They, in a lot of ways, many of the characters looked like they were wood carvings. You know, they kind of had those sharp edges, and like their noses were like slabs. So I don't know if that was intentional, but I kind of got the feeling that they looked like carved figures. I really liked Jesper's whole character design. I thought it was good. Alva was good. And
I was saying earlier,
Klaus was awesome. I like
Alva's got those Megara hips.
Yeah, she kind of has that Megara look to her a little bit. I agree. I like how Klaus was this big square, clearly woodsman type guy who was, you know, really adept at chopping things with his giant axe.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of Papa, or the father character in Day of the Crows. Les Cornelius, I believe is what it's called. It's a French film.
Yeah, I know of it. I think we had it on our schedule at one point, but we never ended up doing it.
Yeah, we never ended up doing it, but Josh bought it, and he did it with the Not Joanna Eggs podcast.
Oh, cool.
That was one where we did a combo where we did Black Cauldron on their episode and Day of the Crows on ours.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it was like he was like the father in that is this big block like character, and so like that was giving me a lot. I was like, okay, nice. And like I'm like maybe is that something? Because I mean this is definitely a multi-international film. Like there's stuff in Canada, there's stuff in France. Like production was done in Spain. America, so like it's all over the place. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was someone who was like, the father, let's make him big and burly, and square.
It was cool. It just worked, man. I liked it a lot. Of course, the leaders of the feuding clans were cool in their design. They looked a little more rough around the edges. You know, they were a little more grizzled because they'd been feuding the longest, probably. Yeah. And, some of their main people were cool. They each had a child of gargantuan proportions, which was interesting. It's cute. They fall in love at the end and get married.
Mine.
Mine. That was really cool. I loved all the kids. I thought the kids were great. They had great variety. They felt very kiddish.
Or Margot?
And yeah, Margot. Was it Margot?
I don't know. It was like a weird umlaut over something that doesn't usually have like an umlaut.
So this random
it was like an umlaut G, and it's like, how?
Yeah. This random adorable little blonde girl shows up in the middle of the film and is speaking some other language, some pseudo-Nordic
the first time that
language.
You meet him, he's like, I know a letter, and he just like uses the bottom door, like scoots her out of the way.
I love stuff like that. And then we end up meeting her people, and then her people end up becoming Santa's elves. Is that kind of what they?
I think that's kind of.
They're just these great like nomadic people, like tent living people in the north that come and help and end up being a huge help and become part of the system. And it was really weird, but I like their whole look. They had the like red, blue, yellow
like their outfits and everything. I was like, dang.
They looked like they were just like dressed up and well kempt all the time, and they just had a cool look.
You know what I think about? Like, they kind of look like Ashitaka's people from Mononoke. You know,
A
they got like
little
the blue and the
A little
reds
bit,
and everything.
Yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't thought of that. They kind of came across as like toy soldiers looking to me a little bit.
Well, I'm sure that's part of the Nordic in them.
Maybe. It's all very nebulous where in, like, it's this mythical place, really.
Yes.
Like, none of the places are real, but the map vaguely looks like it's the British Isles, and he's on an island north of there somewhere.
He's
so
above Scotland. What's above Scotland? Africa?
Cold.
Like, how far you gotta go?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. To answer your question, all of the character designs I approved of. I thought they were really good. I didn't find any of them feeling like they didn't belong, or like didn't fit the style. I didn't feel like any of them were cut short. I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. I like that we didn't have any like animal characters that were acting like horses, other than the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of animals, though, it wasn't really until we got to the reindeer part that I realized
it was Santa Claus.
I realized that, but I didn't realize that they were slowly showing us how the myth of Santa Claus came to be. Okay. Until that part, they wrangle the reindeer, and it's like, okay, now he's going to be delivering them on this sleigh with reindeer. It's like, okay, these people are starting to build a picture in their mind of this guy that comes from somewhere and delivers these presents, and this is how he does it. And
yeah, I feel like that was kind of ruined for me because I did go to that BTS thing, so I knew that was the premise of the movie.
Okay.
Oh man, I wish I kind of hadn't gone. Because
I should have Men in Black'd you before we started.
I should have. Yeah, always just flash me.
Oh well.
Yeah, that sound they're gonna isolate that clip.
Yeah, I'm not gonna flash.
I mean, you can if you want. I mean, I'm not gonna.
I'm good.
Not gonna say no.
I'm gonna zip up a little further.
Oh, okay.
I think. Yeah.
I can see too much skin, Gavin. Yeah, I thought it was really good. Like all the characters were really great. I especially love, the juxtaposition of Klaus and Jesper.
Yeah, big and little.
Yes.
Broad and skinny. Mm-hmm. They had a great juxtaposition, I agree. Especially when they were in the
sleigh.
The wagon that became the sleigh, and Jesper's just this like little sliver next to him. I love that. It's really good. So let's talk about the couple things we didn't like.
Yes, and I think I know one for sure that you and I were not fans
This
of.
is a very contemporary thing that happens in movies that really I think is like a this century kind of thing, where it'll have a beautiful score, it's going along, and then let's say a montage happens. And instead of giving us a cool, exciting score, they drop in a bit of pop music. And I don't like when they do that.
Yeah, we get it twice. We get the montage, and then we get the ending bit.
And then there was the hip hop walk back into the post office.
Oh, see, I wasn't too.
It was okay, but it's like.
But it wasn't like a song.
We feel like this is of a certain time, which is, what would you say, give or take 200 to 300 years ago, maybe, based on
say like
technology and structures. Maybe 150,
mid 1800s.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't expect to hear a soul R&B track.
No.
This isn't A Knight's Tale, right? It's a period piece, really. And so it's kind of weird. Like one of my favorite animated movies is what is it? The Legend of the Guardians, which is the Guardians of Ga'Hoole movie. Right?
Legends of the Guardian. Wait,
is it Rise of the Guardians, which is about the holiday characters.
And just say Guardians of Ga'Hoole movie. That's
the Guardians of the Ga'Hoole movie.
That's the one with the owls, kids.
And in the scene where he learns to like really fly on the currents, they play that Owl City track. And it catapults
Was it
me
Fireflies?
out every
Did they play
time.
Fireflies? Because that would have been hilarious.
I don't know what song it is, but it's like, it's this beautiful score, it's this beautiful story, and then all of a sudden, top 40 radio comes in. And you're like, what is this? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like when they do that.
I
And
mean,
I don't
it's
like
fine in the
when that
credits.
first, but see, I was just going to say that. I don't like when as soon as it goes to black and the credits roll, they launch into another pop track. Like make that the second song of the credits. You know, like
I mean,
leave us with the feeling
it should
of the
flow
movie.
out. I mean, it should flow out. Like the score that you end your movie with should continue into your credits,
Right.
and finish out.
Then you can do
and
your
then you
pop
can do
song.
it. Yeah,
Right. But when it's like credits roll and a beat drops and
Oh, yeah, no.
electric guitars or whatever it is come in, I don't like that. It's a small thing really because it didn't ruin anything for me. But when it happens, I'm just like, oh, that's not the choice I would have made.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that was, to me, that was my biggest criticism was the song. I'm just like,
Yeah.
don't put the song in there. Because I was telling you, like, I was really happy because like there was no singing. There was no musicals, and you know me, I am not a fan of like singing in like movies and like my animated stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I think I love Zootopia as much as I do and Big Hero 6 because like they don't
They're
sing
not musicals. Yeah.
No, it's like you get a little bit of Shakira, but that's like at a concert, in a contained
And it's at
setting.
the end. It's over at
Yes.
that point. Yeah.
But yeah, just randomly inserting stuff like that, just like ugh. If they would have tried to make it sound, you know, like period PC,
Right.
something like that would have been different. But like, this was just too much.
Yeah.
And then there were a couple bits where you could definitely see like oh yeah, this is kind of Despicable Me.
Oh yeah. You could see that influence for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically, yeah. That was my biggest complaint. What about you?
I think the only other thing I kind of felt was a bit of a miss, I could have used a little less of Norm Macdonald's character. Like he seemed to come in too many times and just be
in the first
sarcastic,
couple
annoying
acts,
guy.
yeah, but then he disappeared for a long time.
Yeah. But he just kept popping up a bunch in the first half of the movie, and it's like, okay, we get you're here to like sarcastically say he's a failure and he's a joke, and you're like leading him on, like trying to trick him into doing other things. And I don't know, like he tricked him into ringing the battle bell.
Yeah.
Which was kind of funny that's what they call it.
Tricks him into go seeing the Woodsman.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, after that, like, okay, go away now. I could have used a little less of him, but that's a super tiny.
Well, he does
criticism.
come back with a good point in the story though. Like where he's like, I've never seen a postman leave sadder than when he got here.
Right.
So
But that could have been that. It could have been the two tricks and then that.
yeah.
I don't know. Small thing. So that's saying something. Like I'm really like nitpicking to try and find criticisms of this film.
I mean,
so that's a good thing.
If I have to nitpick, just because we do, a couple of the bits, like the physical comedy bits, are a little bit much.
Oh, like when he's making his first round of deliveries and he keeps getting like
Yes,
exploded
he's
out of
exploded out of
houses or
stuff.
chased out by animals.
And even like the
or-
first, like because up until
It's very Hanna-Barbera in a hallway.
Yes,
in
very
one
much
door,
like,
out another door, in another door.
yeah. There's a part like when I thought they were only going to do it once, but then they did it in that scene where he's delivering everything. It's like when the battle bell rings and he's like on the cart, and then one of like the kids or whatever hits the cart and he goes flying up into the air and then comes back down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was just like, oh, I hope we don't have more of this. And then we did, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, there are several slapstick moments throughout. I didn't really feel like any of them drug on too far.
No, they were very short and contained.
They did go right to the line though. I admit. Like if it had stretched a little further, it would have been a little tiresome.
Yeah, but no, I liked it. I liked our our climax. The comedy in this, it's basically Jason Schwartzman.
It's really good.
I like that. I
liked
wouldn't have
it.
jumped into this. I wouldn't have done anything
Yeah.
if I knew these were hooked in. That was great.
Yes, I totally agree. I liked some of the physical like prop comedy too. Like there's a lot of moments where like when he knocks on the door and you see the slanted roof above him and just
it's
the
just
whole
snow.
foot of snow that's on that whole roof just slides off right in his face. Like just stuff like that.
Like when he's like reaching into his like he's got that wall of snow in his kitchen.
Oh yeah, he's trying to pull out a cup.
He's pulling out. He's like, he gets the cup. He's like, oh, yeah, I got a cup. And he reaches in and he's like, oh, right. It's like, yeah, like
there's good humor in it.
Yeah, the comedy is great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I'm thinking.
Honestly, I can't imagine that I'm gonna like Frozen 2 as much as I liked this. And they probably did this for a fraction of the cost of Frozen 2.
40 million. Estimated 40 million for this.
Yeah. They probably... I haven't looked at the numbers, but if they put less than 200 million into Frozen 2, I'll be shocked. And it's a sequel. And I had major problems with the animation in Frozen. And this was beautiful. So this is probably going to be my hit of the winter season.
Yeah. I mean, movie wise, yes. For me, I mean, animated wise, because I mean, Jojo Rabbit for me is still maybe the best film of the year.
Oh well, also yeah. If we're including live action stuff, I mean, the Cats movie comes out next month.
It does. So does that other one, the space thing,
the space opera, space opera fantasy film. That's the final chapter in a franchise of space opera fantasy films. Yeah,
that is going to be interesting. That people. The space opera fantasy film franchise that people hate, but love it enough to spend millions of dollars.
Right? Yeah, exactly. We'll see if it's connected to the previous film as much as the last film was not connected to the previous film.
Well, see, the big thing is like it's going to be interesting to see which of those space opera fantasy films, either the because there were the original trilogy, and then there was a pre-trilogy, and now there's a post-trilogy. So it's going to be interesting to see which one people hate more, the prequel trilogy or the sequel trilogy. That's going to be the fun thing.
We're going to have to wait a while because time has cooled the tempers about the prequels, but it will be a battle royale for the rest of our lives, I believe, Josh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Captain Picard comes out sometime next year.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that.
It's gonna be good. 7 of 9's in there, and there's a weird Vulcan person who's got like a sword. It's like a samurai Vulcan.
And doesn't it have somehow old Data?
Yeah, that's another one that's kind of confusing. But Riker's there and Troy's there. Well, actually, I don't know. I think Troy's there.
Where there's a Riker.
Oh, spoilers.
Oh man.
No, you watched the movies. You saw they got married.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen you. I think you guys are both forgetting that, like, we're in the early seasons right now in our current watch through of The Next Generation. But when it comes to the later seasons, I've seen a good number of those episodes, and I've seen all of the movies.
Have you seen the one where Ensign Ro dies?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, Ensign Ro. She's Bajoran, I believe. Yeah. Have you met? Yeah, she's kind of in the series a little bit in the early stuff.
Who?
Ro. Have you met her?
No, we haven't met Ro yet.
Okay. Well, she's a Bajoran, red uniform.
Got it.
Yeah. Her and Riker kind of have a thing.
If they're sort of pretty, they kind of have a thing with Riker.
It could be human. It could be alien. It could be that one hologram.
When people talk about Captain Kirk. Riker was the player of the galaxy, man. He really was.
Definitely. And it's like, Betazoid wedding? You got it. Yes. Tangents. What would
Should we rate Klaus?
What would you give? Well, and what I was going with when you were talking about Frozen, it's going to be sad because Frozen's going to get more hype than this.
Well, they got a huge marketing machine.
I know, which sucks.
And it's the sequel to the highest grossing animated movie of all time. So,
is that true?
Yeah.
Oh.
Frozen is top of the list animated.
But what about Zootopia?
Well, we're not talking about quality. We're just talking about dollars. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's sad, though. Because, like, you're right. It's Frozen 2. It can't be as good. Like, it can't be as good as this movie.
No.
So go ahead, Gavin. What would you give it?
So, out of 5 Jiminy Crickets, I will give this a full 5 Jiminy
Oh my
Crickets.
goodness
I
gracious.
really enjoyed it. I am glad that Netflix is in this game, and I hope they bring us more animated offerings like this.
Yes.
Easter's going to be here before you know it. Bring us an Easter movie.
That's DreamWorks' department.
Yeah, I guess so. Whatever.
Unfortunately for me, it did make me feel.
Mm-hmm.
I did get a little misty-eyed, so on that, it's gonna get a 2 out of 5 for me.
That's
2
not
different.
true at all.
It's gonna get 5 different pines. Because good lord, like, it was just good.
It really
Like,
was.
This is one of those where, like, it's very rare that there'll be something on Netflix that I'm like, you know what, I want to own a physical copy of that.
Sure.
Very, very rare.
There may be some cool extras
This, I'm like,
that they put out.
yes, I want this.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've been doing stuff where, like, the making ofs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if they're going to do like a making of Klaus, because they did one for the stupid thing, the Jim Henson thing.
The
Dark Crystal.
Jim Henson
Dark Crystal.
thing. Oh, geez.
Dark Crystal was not.
It was not good. I hadn't seen it yet.
Well, it was also like not popular enough.
Oh, really?
Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. Dark Crystal was the popular one. It was Labyrinth that was the unpopular one.
We're talking about the movie from the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the
Dark
Netflix
Crystal.
show.
Dark Crystal made its money back. Labyrinth didn't make its money back.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
I blame Jennifer Connelly.
I blame not enough David Bowie's package.
There was enough of David Bowie's package to go
But
around.
here's the question, Gavin. Could there have been more?
I mean, we could have seen it, I guess.
No, the worst part about that was they didn't have a horse drown in like despair muck.
Oh my gosh. I love Neverending Story. It's my favorite fantasy film.
What was the name of the horse?
Atreyu was Artex.
Artex,
yeah. I saw an actually really good and super sad illustration of that scene not that long ago.
Somebody did a really good cosplay of it. They went to a con like with the horse's head, and they were dressed as Atreyu, and they would like put it in like on the ground. They were like,
gosh.
It was amazing.
That's ridiculous.
It was so bad, but like, you win, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's a win right there. Oh,
nice.
God.
I need to go home and watch Neverending Story.
Wasn't the other kid's name Bastian?
I think his name was Sebastian, and he went by Bastian,
okay.
which
That
is
makes
weird.
sense.
A little too close to bastard.
I mean, sure.
It's just a weird movie, though.
It's
you
definitely
can't
a
have
weird
a movie
movie.
like that outside of the 1980s. I love the 80s, man. You got some weird, wacky stuff
that's
that
why,
ends up
That's why
working some way.
Neverending Story 3, which came out in the 90s, wasn't good. Because he's like flying next to a plane.
Yeah, like so dumb.
Oh, God. Well, fun times. You ready to talk
Yes.
about
The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian? So, all right, guys, if you don't have Disney Plus, because we do have international listeners, which most don't get Disney Plus until March.
Really? It's that far
Yeah.
behind? Wow.
Which is kind of good for them, because then they can just stream all the stuff that...
That's true. They'll be able to binge.
Yeah, they'll be able to binge it, where we have to watch and wait.
Well, that's only true of the new shows, though. The old shows you can binge.
Yeah, but I mean, who's watching the old shows?
Well, everybody that has begged for all those Disney television
I know,
things to
I
be
have. And you know
available.
how many I've watched?
0.
No.
Get
I'm like-
on it, man.
I was like, day one, I'm going to watch Kim Possible.
You haven't watched it yet.
I watched Miracle, Gavin.
Unbelievable.
Like, I watched Miracle.
That is so not you.
No, I don't even like
weird.
hockey.
I know.
Like, ugh.
Interesting. Okay, Mandalorian.
Except Mighty Ducks. Quack, quack.
Quack.
Oh, speaking of, before we get into Mandalorian, so they're rebooting Mighty Ducks
As a series or a film?
as a series.
Okay.
From what it says Disney Plus, so who knows? It could be a Lady and the Tramp thing. It could be a movie, a TV or a series. This is what I'm thinking. So tell me what you think here.
Okay.
So we do, the thing, same Mighty Ducks and everything like that, but instead, it's an all-female Mighty Ducks.
Ooh.
We do an
that
all,
could be cool.
We do an all-female, and like I'm kind of thinking like, could you get Joshua Jackson? to come back.
That's kind of what I was
play.
thinking is like...
He's the new Gordon
he's
Bombay.
the new coach. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is it's more of a sequel than a reboot.
Yeah, I would like that. So like he has to come back and he teaches a girls hockey team because... I mean, really, that's what he did in the third movie. Like, basically half of the second and third, all of the third movie. He didn't even play in the third. He was just, like, the coach.
Oh, yeah, he kind of was.
He didn't even play.
Interesting.
So,
yeah, I like the all-girls team idea. That could be really fun.
I think if they did it, that would be the best way, I think, to... rebrand
or maybe they could get Foggy Nelson from the Daredevil show and have him be the coach.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you didn't watch Daredevil?
No, I watched 2 episodes of Daredevil.
The guy that was in Mighty Ducks, the big tough guy that said "I'll be Duck," that guy,
one of the Bash brothers.
I don't. It's been too long since I saw it, but he plays a character in Daredevil.
Oh, really?
Like he's this like as a grown up, he's a smallish, nerdy
he's
guy.
The other lawyer.
Yeah, he's the other lawyer.
Yeah, he's one of the Bash brothers. The two guys are bashing each other.
When they were all kids, like he was the big, like hulking one, and like now he's not a large guy.
He's like 5'10".
Funny,
like my height.
So it'd be cool if they could bring some of those guys back and make cameos.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd go ultimate cameo? Emilio.
Oh gosh, if you could pull him
Bring
out of the
Emilio
woodwork.
out.
When's the last time he was in a thing at all?
Is Emilio still alive?
Yes.
What if he died and lived like none of us knew? The Sheens were the Sheen / Estevez.
All the other Sheens outlive Emilio? That would be crazy.
Charlie Sheen is going to live to be 400.
I know. That's ridiculous.
And Emilio's been dead for 30 years. He died right after Mighty Ducks 2. That's why he wasn't in the third one.
Yeah. Well, there it is. It's the last thing we ever saw, man.
Jeez. The Mandalorian.
Yes.
So, spoilers for the first 2 episodes of The Mandalorian. Because we got 2 this week.
Yep.
So, the only week that we're going to get to.
That we know of.
Yes. So, what did you think of The Mandalorian? Like, were you like were you interested in this like from the start? Just like, oh, this is going to be a Mando, not a Force user.
Yeah, I was very interested from the beginning for several reasons. The first reason is I've never really understood the mythos of certainly the cult of Boba Fett and the Mandalorians in general. Like, they're so popular. He's like seen as this cool, iconic character, but he's barely in the films at all, like barely. And I understand that a lot of it comes from the expanded universe and the books and all that.
Which no longer exists.
I never read any of that. So I was interested to kind of learn a little more. On top of that, I saw initial images and initial trailers for it, and it has a really cool, interesting look and feel to it that the current trilogy does not, and that really the prequels didn't either, but it feels and looks more Star Wars to me. And, I'm in the old school group that grew up with the original trilogy, and that's what I know and love best. And so this feels like an extension of that. It literally is, because it follows Return of the Jedi. And yeah, so I was excited going into it. I thought it had a lot of potential, and I was pleased with what I've seen so far, for sure.
Yeah, because we have Pedro Pascal, who voices the Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm. He's awesome.
From Game of Thrones fame.
Oh, yeah?
He got his head crushed.
Who didn't?
Who didn't? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said he didn't. I was
No,
like,
who
he did.
didn't?
I
never watched
really
Game of
just
Thrones
Pedro Pascal.
because-
Like, that's basically it.
Okay, well, everyone gets murdered in some
yes.
way.
Yeah, and that. So yeah, we've got Pedro Pascal, Carl Weathers, who was in there for like 13 seconds.
Apollo Creed himself.
Nick Nolte.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Nick Nolte's character is really cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Taika Waititi, who when he was there, he was great.
He was cool.
And we cannot forget Werner Herzog.
Which one's he?
He's the Imperial guy. who
That
like sends him
on his ultimate bounty quest. Okay, yeah. And then who is it? Horatio Sands plays the guy that he saves in the bar.
The first guy, yeah. I thought that was good. It's more violent of a Star Wars than I think we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of on that same violence level as Rogue One, I would say, because Rogue One has some violence in it, especially that last scene, obviously. But, Rogue One of the contemporary films is my favorite. So that one also had a real feel for the original trilogy, and it's on the other side.
And it also feels like a Star Wars movie,
too.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So these are the kinds of things that I think Star Wars fans have kind of been longing for. So I feel like this has a chance to be really successful. But we talked about the violence a little bit, and they are doing some clever things to not really present true gory violence.
Yes.
For example, his gun basically vaporizes things instead of
because it's like a taser bit first.
Yeah.
So it's got a taser sight. It's like a Zat. He's basically got a
Zat
Nicotel.
Yeah, you're right.
Look it up, kids. So because it goes zappy zap, it goes shooty shoot, and it goes vaporize.
Yeah,
you just gotta go 1, 2, 3.
It's like the sniper rifle version of it. Zat, yeah.
God, that would be.
And then there are some other parts where the violence is more indicated than anything, like when he pulls that guy just inside the door enough, and you just kind of hear it cut him in half, and then you see his legs fall to the floor, but you don't really actually see gore and guts. So, if you have a problem with blood and guts and things like that, which I personally do, I don't like a lot of violence. This is done in a way that it's a less gratuitous presentation.
Yeah, it's
gratuitous.
It's still PG.
Is it?
Yeah,
yeah.
Language
is fine, and I can't imagine there's going to be overt
episode 2
sexuality.
was PG. I don't know about episode 1. Episode 1 may have been PG-13, but still it's not bad. Not bad violence at all. I would like to see a lovey scene.
Yeah,
which we've got some female characters coming up,
sure.
So we'll more than likely get that. Yeah, because that's another thing that we've not really seen.
There hasn't been a single female on the show yet, right? In 2 episodes?
No.
To be fair, we don't know what the child is.
The Mandalorian chick. She's the only one, but we've not seen her face.
When did we see
the one who makes him the armor?
When he goes to the Mandalorian,
which is weird
that
that's what they're doing with the Mandalorians, because if we keep what the Clone Wars has with the Mandalorians and everything, the Mandalorians never take in this universe, Mandalorians don't take off their helmets, so I don't know if that's new because that was never the thing. Look at Jango. In episode 2, Jango half that movie doesn't have his helmet on.
Does that predate some of that practice though? Maybe.
The Mandalorians have been a warrior race for.
Yeah, but that particular practice, maybe for anonymity's sake,
maybe an after the Empire thing. That's the only thing that I can think. Because it was never, because even in the Clone Wars, the TV show, which is now canonical, there's Mandalorians that don't wear helmets all the time.
Really?
So it's weird that's what they're, because you see a couple kids running around, they got helmets on, and I'm
But maybe there's a fundamentalist sect of Mandalorians.
Maybe it may be like the Obsidian Order.
They're Orthodox Mandos.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yes, we are the.
Josh crossed himself again.
Oh shoot! I was trying to think of what would be the Greek version of the Greek Orthodox version of. They're the Nabooian Orthodox version of Mandalorians.
There you go. Do we know what planet this show is set on?
No, we've still not heard.
I will tell you that in the first episode, especially when he's in town, it feels a lot like Galaxy's Edge at the park. It feels like it's Black Spire Outpost is the name of that little city on the planet Batuu. It feels like that a lot.
Yeah,
it looks like that.
I would love for them to say that it's Batuu.
Feels,
I would love that. That would be good.
I think that'd be cool. But then the second episode has a very Tatooine feel because of who we encounter.
I hate
and how it's broad vistas of desert landscape.
Yeah, I don't like Jawas. I will say I do like that these were different Jawas.
I liked the way they played the Jawas in this a lot. I thought they were really good. And that whole sequence of him trying to get into their big tank vehicle when they're all just chucking everything they have at this guy. He's just trying to climb up the side. That was hilarious.
He's like, I don't think he's pulling people over, and you're just like, oh, that Jawa dead. Like,
and then he makes it to the top, and they just zap him.
And he's like, all right, bye. It's gone. That was good. Like it was really good. It was funny. Like it's got more humor than I thought it was going to have in it, for sure. Yeah. Especially Taika Waititi's character in the first episode, IG-11. Loved it. Yeah, he was really good. Really hope they bring another IG unit in.
It was cool to actually see one of those in real action, too.
Yeah.
Because
you've seen one stand around and then one in a scrap
heap.
It's
a purely functional design. And the way, like, he looks all awkward and gangly, but it's a very functional way of being able to change direction and point a gun in a million different directions very quickly, and it was cool to see.
Like they initiate self-destruct. No, yeah, like, I thought all that was great. Like when he gets shot, it's there's like that little oil like
yeah,
like his artery. Jack. Like it was great. Yes, very Samurai Jack. That's what you should do. You should draw like Jack and IG-88. Just be like, what are you? Yeah. And then at the end of the first episode, like the package that he is sent to buy these Imperial guys, which is weird that he wants it dead or alive, but then it's like, if it's dead, it's okay. And then the other guy's like, no, we want it alive. He's like, either or. But then like IG-11's like, oh, we got to kill it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it becomes apparent across this once you get to the second episode that a lot of people have been sent out for this particular bounty. Like, so it makes sense that some are getting slightly different instructions one from another. But yeah, it's like he wants the biggest bounty because he's the Apollo Creed. Can only pay him in certain denominations.
He's like,
he doesn't want Imperial credits anymore because the Empire's
there's
like
no more Empire,
right? So
I can pay you in Mon Calamari bubble things,
right?
They go.
So he's after the biggest prize he can get, and it seems like a lot of other people are too.
Yeah.
So they got that cool, like, it looks like a solid, like made out of like hardened quicksilver, like iPhone.
Dude, I would love to like have one of those.
I bet they'll make that a product.
Like that would be a cool little pay. I mean, I say that I think it would be cool that people would buy it. I wouldn't, because I wouldn't know what to do with it. Like I'm already kind of like not liking that.
It would be really cool if, because they've gamified Galaxy's Edge. You can play little missions and games while you're in the land. It'd be cool if you could actually earn enough to get things like bounties.
Yeah, you would think that would be something that they would do later, but it's Disney. They don't give anything for free. So the only thing you can get free at Disneyland is a cup of water, but you had to spend $200 to get the water.
Right.
So it's like technically it was a $200 cup of water.
Totally. So the end of the first episode.
Yeah.
What do we discover?
We discover that the bounty is a little baby of whatever species Yoda was.
Do we know what species Yoda is?
I don't think so. It may have said it in one of those like old.
Because when I looked up images, because I was trying to do a drawing of this new little character, like it kept popping up as baby Yoda species.
Yeah. Because again, it may be one of those where like you find out like what its name is in some like, in one of those books that came out.
Oh, like
1980.
The species of Star Wars, the ships. Of
Not
Star
even
Wars,
that. Not even that. Like there's this like old thing that I think Liam still has one. Maybe Manoa, but it's like a book that is like the quintessential like Star Wars book, and it came out in like 1978.
Oh.
And it's got like all the Star Wars lore or whatever in it.
Dude, you know what else was awesome that came out in 1978?
You?
Yes.
Gross.
We get it. We see a baby Yoda
thing
looking character,
which
is
stop
super
calling
cute.
it Yoda.
It's not Yoda, but
it's not. That's the.
It's like we don't have a name. We don't have a word for. They didn't even know what to call it.
No, it's like green alien. There's a baby alien.
Yeah.
Baby green alien.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's what we have.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, we start the second episode, and that's when the Jawas come. I did like the Jawas wearing gray and not that garbage brown from Tatooine.
Yeah, I liked the way that they looked.
Also, their eyes were different. Their eyes were red when they're normally like yellow.
It may have just been the lighting, but yeah, they did seem a little like their faces seemed darker. Like they seemed to be a little more.
They were very minion-y to me. Like they felt way more minions like.
Really?
Like, and it's like the way that they were talking, it wasn't like what you normally hear Jawa.
Mm-hmm.
It was very like
it felt
minions-y.
a little more. I don't know. A little more athletic and like nimble than the Jawas we see in the original trilogy. They seemed a little like awkward at times. Like if they didn't have their little zapper sticks, like they would be nothing. These guys seem like they can get around a little bit. They're chucking stuff with pretty good accuracy at the Mandalorian. And do we have a name for him yet?
The Mandalorian.
He's just the Mandalorian, right? That's all we know. It's very Western. I love that.
Well,
it's like the man with no name.
What we've kind of summarize what we've kind of been giving is like he's not a true Mandalorian, he's an adopted Mandalorian. Because he said like when
you're supposed to be born a Mandalorian.
Well, it's like not everybody is born a Mandalorian. Like I mean, like you can be born on Mandalore and therefore you are a Mandalorian.
Oh, that's a planet.
Yes, Mandalore.
Oh, I thought it was
named after
a club, basically.
Named after like the big bad Mandalore guy his name was Mandalore. And like
I don't know any of this stuff.
Again, that could all be changed. I don't know. Everything I know about Mandalorians is from like the big one was like the Republic Commando books. Mm-hmm. Because I mean clones, and in those books they were trained by Mandalorians. That's what Jango did. Like he went out and like he taught like the best, but then like everybody else, he was like, yeah, I'll just hire more Mandalorians to come and change, do these guys and teach them Mandalorian and everything like that. So like they swear in Mando and everything like that. So they're all basically Mandos. But like what because like when he gives her the thing and he's like, this'll give armor for, she says a term like I can't remember what it is, but it's like people that have been basically orphaned and are now Mandos.
Oh, okay.
Like they've been taken.
Interesting.
Because she says some term. I don't remember.
Yeah,
what it
I
was.
didn't. I guess I didn't understand that when she said.
Well, because and then it goes to that flashback, and he's like running around, and like they hide him. I'm guessing from the Mandalorians, and that's probably going to be who we see later is Big Papa Mando, who is his whatever, the person that took him and trained him. Yeah, because he's like also she was like full Mando, looked really nice. All of his Mandalorian pieces are all mismatched. The only two that match is his new little thing that he got because he brought them that whole bar and his helmet. Those are the only two that are the same. Everything else is just different Mando pieces. Yeah. From like, looks like more than likely pass me down armor.
Yeah. And he just had to have a bunch of that repaired after the second episode.
Oh, yeah. Like he needs a new breastplate because that's all bent.
Yeah, it's like sticking straight out. He got messed up.
Yeah,
but I like how it's not only a bounty job now; it's also partly a babysitting job, which can make some of these types of things funny. It adds a lightness to it, which
like when Baby Yoda kept trying to get out. I said Baby Yoda. Yeah, when the baby keeps coming up and trying to like heal his wound or whatever, and he's like, "No, get back in the thing." Yeah,
it's really good.
And then he's just like, close it. That's how we keep it in the.
What did you think about the battle with the Beast in the second episode?
I thought it was good. He was getting his butt kicked. Like, wouldn't happen to Jango. Just saying.
Okay. Well, I mean, this guy may be still in the learning process.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like Jango had more things at his disposal. Like, for one thing, Jango and Boba
He's got a
had
Camino saber
had
dart.
jetpacks. This guy doesn't have a jetpack.
He has a cool
stuck to the ground.
He's got a cool like semi cape, like a half cape.
If you can lift off the ground 20 feet and shoot down at this thing, yeah, you could ace it.
Yeah.
But he didn't have that.
He's got what? He's got a flamethrower,
rifle, blaster, and knife.
Yeah. Which do you think?
And fists and feet.
Yeah. He's got the little like grapple hook thing that he shot in the eye, and then just kind of got like towed around for a little bit.
That's true.
And then he's got a baby, which
he saved the day.
That part I didn't like.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't like.
I was expecting that to happen.
I'm sure there was part of me that was like, yeah, this is.
Because
I just don't like the Force, man. I think it's dumb. I think it's stupid. Like, that's why I love the Republic Commando books. Like, they're my favorite Star Wars books. And no Jedi. Yeah. Well, there's one but it's mainly clones. And like Lost Stars, the only one that is like canonical now. It's about two kids that grew up on a planet. One's poor, like from a poorer class. One's from a higher station. They both, become friends. Both want to get into the Imperial Academy. Both get into the Imperial Academy. He is a better pilot, so he's a TIE fighter pilot, and she is working on a Star Destroyer. And they kind of form like this, they're very nice bond and everything. And then Death Star blows up, where they have friends stationed on the Death Star.
Yeah.
Death Star blows up. He kind of leaves the Empire. She rises through the ranks. He joins the rebellion. She rises through the ranks in the Empire, to where she's captain of a Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Dude, love it to death.
So they should make a movie
No
of that.
Force. Dude, I'm like Disney Plus. Get on Claudia Gray's novel like right now. You want some like teen romance garbage that you can be like, hey CW, guess what? We can do that too. Lost Stars. It's all literally already written for you, and you can continue it if you want.
Yeah,
it's right there. But
nice.
Yeah, no Jedis. Not a Jedi at all.
Do you think we're going to see any Jedi in The Mandalorian?
I'm sure we'll see something akin to a Jedi.
You think so?
Like,
well, because after
maybe I could probably, and again, we've got. I would love for him to have to hunt down a Jedi. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I would love for us to have to hunt down a Jedi. Well,
because after Return of the Jedi, the only Jedi left is Luke, right?
Yeah,
and then according to what we know now,
there are some
basically
ones,
went into hiding.
There are some ones that are technically hiding. That survived Order 66. Like, not all the Jedi died. There were a good amount of Jedi that survived Order 66 because they were either off planet or doing whatever. And
they're hiding the whole time 4, 5, and 6 happened.
Because, I mean, like, you can't go up against the Empire. There's, like,
yeah,
one person. Because, like, if you can't, like, join with a bunch of them, because then it's like, oh, there's a lot of force in this place, Empire's going to fight you. So, you can't, like, meet up and have a chat. So I would love for him to I would love in season 2 for him to have to kill the Jedi.
Yeah.
But I bet Disney won't do that because
well, I mean,
it'll be one where he'll go and he'll let it go. So lame. It's so
don't like pre-criticize something that hasn't
I know.
happened.
Yeah, you're right. The only thing I've not liked from this series so far is the Force. That's the only thing. And like Baby, like super strong at the Force, like a bit too strong.
But it did overwhelm Baby, and Baby slept for 3 days after that.
Yeah, but still,
it's good. I'm really enjoying.
Oh yeah,
it.
no, I'm totally enjoying the series.
Episode.
Yeah,
I'm totally invested
ready.
after 2 episodes.
Oh yeah,
so that's a good sign.
I just wish that we could just binge it. I just want to binge
I know.
it.
That's the only bad thing is that we can't binge it.
Man. I wonder how when they finish this, like if they're already doing season 2, and then do you think season 2 will be able to binge it?
Maybe. I can see that possibly being a thing.
Because you brought up a good point. Like they just don't have
Yeah, right now, if they let everybody binge it, people would be
there's
done.
No library. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're still adding to the library. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else on Disney Plus that you're wanting to watch right now?
Not really.
Yeah.
This like mainly my interest was for The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That was my main.
That was my top one. And then the Imagineering story has been really good so far.
When's that other thing come out? The one with all the where they visit a whole bunch of people, like people in the parks.
Oh, it's like One Day in Disney. Yeah. I don't know when that one's supposed to come out, but that one sounds really good too. I think that's just, I don't know if it's a series or if it's just a documentary film. I think it's a film.
Oh,
but it's basically like around the world, Disney company, 24 hours, like what happens in all aspects of the company. So it could be interesting.
I think it would be cool because like they did this thing, and I think I've told you before, like the NHK in Japan used to do a thing called Document 72 Hours, where they would pick a place and they would go there and film for 72 hours straight. So like there was one, probably one of my favorite episodes was when they go to, it's a gift shop convenience store area in this really large hospital. So it's a hospital, so this place is open 24/7.
Yeah.
So there's like doctors that come in, patients that come in, patients' families that come in, and they'll just like go and talk to them like, hey, what are you here for? They're just like asking questions. You're like, so why are you here? What's the, like, you know? And they talk to this one nurse who is, it's great. And like sometimes they'll follow them. Like this one doctor, he was doing a 24-hour on-call thing. So they followed him, and it was like 3 a.m, and he came out and he had like 4 Red Bulls and like a sandwich. And so he like chugged 2 of them. And then he was going up and he's like, I got a little bit of time. I'm going to go up and I'm going to sleep. So it goes up into this office.
After chugging 2 Red Bulls?
Yeah. I mean,
what's the point of chugging 2 Red Bulls if you're just going to try and get some winks?
Because you're going to fall asleep anyway. This will maybe help you. I don't know, man. Weird. I'm not a doctor. I'm not Japanese or a doctor, Gavin. I don't know.
Okay.
But he goes up.
Here, I thought you were both.
You know, one day. He goes up into his office, which is like, you would think like if a doctor in a hospital would have like his own like doctor office. No, it's like this, like almost like a classroom, basically. So he goes to his little desk and he takes his chair and he's broken it basically to where it will fully go down and then still come back up. So he's like jerry-rigged this thing.
Right.
So he's like popped it down. He like puts these other boxes kind of here so he can like put his legs out so he can make himself a little bed, and he lies down. Beeper goes off and he has to go, and he's like, yep. And so he's like, pops it. That's why he took the Red Bull, man. So then he goes and he's like, all right. And so like it does another one, and he comes back, and I think he's able
by the
to
way,
like lay
this
down
story
for like
is
6
brought
minutes.
to you by Tangents.
Yes. He's able to go like 6 minutes, and then the thing goes off again, and it's like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Sad. Anyway, so yeah, I would love for them to do something like that in Disney, where they're just like, hey, we're going to we're going to follow this person around.
You know what would be cool?
For 72 hours.
You know how there's like all kinds of channels and live feeds everywhere where it's literally just a camera, live feed in a public place. Yeah. If they just did one of those for each of the parks, just here's your live feed of Disneyland today. And it's like from the top of the castle looking down Main Street.
Yeah, they do it at the ISS.
Yeah.
So it's just like, just have that.
You know, like, or
that would be interesting.
Here's your live feed for today. It's Tomorrowland. Enjoy. And you're just going to see people milling about, so you could just turn it on in the background and like feel like you're at the park or something.
You know how many people people would just try and find wherever that is that day? They'd just be like,
annual pass holders would be like, what channel is it on today? Okay,
let's go
to the park.
Dude.
Yeah, that's true. They would definitely do that.
They would abuse it, and I would too.
Yeah,
I'd do it.
I have fun
because you know what we'd do? No, we'd go and be like, "Hey, Charlie, and you just turn on Disney Plus." Yeah, click on the Tomorrowland. You know how fun that would be?
Or you
That would be
just-
so much
You
fun.
just go with, like, all three of us go. We all wear our Animation Station podcast T-shirts, and
Yeah,
we just
just
stand in front of the camera and we do this.
You wore it
And
today.
we just stand there for as long as we can and just advertise.
That would be amazing. I would totally do it.
Yeah, totally. Of course I wore it today. I was recording today.
I wore
I'm a
my
professional. You
Dragon
wore
Prince.
cartoon drawings.
It's the Dragon Prince. I'm helping to
You know what it
promote
looks
my
like?
episode.
It looks like that stupid alien dog creature from John Carter.
Kind of. But smaller.
That's what I thought it was. And
way
less legs.
smaller.
Less legs.
Yes.
Oh, is it a little guy?
It's like
Oh, okay.
it's a little glow toad because it's the same guys that did Avatar, so they combine
Ideas.
they combine animals.
Mm.
So there's like a monkey lemur,
So what's that a combination of? A toad and a what?
glow bug.
Oh, like a firefly?
Yeah, like glow
Oh,
toad.
okay.
So
Nice.
it basically changes color, like when it's
Like your
scared.
shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so go watch Dragon Prince.
Cool.
Comes out on Friday,
And the Mandalorian.
and The Mandalorian
And
comes out
Klaus.
on Friday. Klaus available now.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
Sweet. Well, maybe I'll return when the first season of Mandalorian's over and we can do a final
Oh, that'd be fun.
review.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it, and then we'll talk about why Josh thinks Disney ruined it. No, I actually
Likely the case, actually.
Yeah, as long as we don't have stupid Jedi. Like, I would love for him to turn the stupid thing in, give it to the Empire, and then we just never see it again.
Yeah.
I would love that so much, but it's Disney. They're not going to do it.
Well, that's Rogue One. There's no Jedi, right?
Darth Vader.
He's not Jedi. He's Sith.
Or Jedi.
And he's in the last scene of the movie.
No, remember, I am one with the Force is with me.
Yeah, but he's
character
not
guy.
a Jedi.
But he's
a
basically
wannabe.
a Jedi.
Yeah, he's like Jedi without the tools.
They call him a something or rather. He's one of
Yeah.
the... I don't care because...
I know
The
you don't like the
Force
Force.
I'm one with the Force is with me. Off. The fact that when he actually got shot at the end, I was like, good job, Stormtroopers. You
Yeah,
did it.
They hit one guy.
They killed a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Literally everyone.
That one is a lot better. Like, honestly, like Rogue One is, for me, right next to the original trilogy.
Yeah.
I enjoy
Well,
it.
it's got people from the original trilogy in it, too.
Yes, it does. Magically.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about the Princess Leia bit. I'm talking about the...
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Oh, I'm not talking about him either.
Oh, okay.
They redid some of the bits with... I think it's either Biggs or Dak, but like the...
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the guy who was Gold Leader
Mm-hmm.
in the
New
Y
Hope?
Wing who gets blown up.
Mm-hmm.
He's in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's just one of the guys. Like they fly in when they're doing their checks.
Mm-hmm.
He's Gold Leader and
course,
he's there. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, he's there.
The galaxy's two most well-traveled droids are there as well. They're in like one shot, I think.
Are they?
Yeah, they're there.
Oh
They're
yeah,
on the
they're
planet.
on.
The tropical beach planet. That's where they
They're
are.
on the beach.
They're not
How do they
on
get
the
out?
beach. They're in that little base that's there. That's where you see them,
Huh?
right? Isn't that where you see them?
Oh no, they're in the loading area before they go.
Yeah,
Because like they're in the little rebel headquarters before they get put on the Tantive 4.
that's right. Yeah.
I was gonna say, if they were on the beach, they did.
No, I know they
Everybody
weren't
on
like
that beach
out
died.
in the sand or whatever. But yeah,
God, that was sad. Like everyone on that beach died. Like all those poor Imperial guys that were just minding their own business,
mm-hmm.
just working.
Yep.
Stupid rebellion.
Yep.
That's why Star Wars is just weird.
Why?
It's just weird. I don't get it.
You've had your whole life to get it. It's been around your whole life.
I know, and I've always liked the Empire. They're such cool. They got cool outfits. They got cool everything, man. They snazzy.
Yeah.
And there's the rebels. The rebel scum.
Yeah. Dirty scum.
Those dirty, dirty little rebels.
We could tangent forever, but I do need to go at some point, Josh.
we need to get your car.
Yeah.
All right, Gavin, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Gavin Otteson
That's
Arts.
the one thing about Squirt is like it's really good, like super cold and everything, but if you let it sit, it gets a little bit weird.
Now that it's sat there for an hour and a half, it's not good.
It's still kind of cold, but like you can, how when soda gets old, exposed to air for too long, it kind of gets that, and it's just like how Sprite does it too, like Sprite and 7-Up, like.
That's why you drink Coke, man.
I know, but have you ever had like left out Coke? Left out Coke is bad too.
How long do you leave out Coke? You don't. You drink it because it's delicious.
Yeah, I mean, I don't usually drink soda with no precursor. Like if it was like just like I want a soda. I don't normally do that.
Oh, you always drink it with something, like with food?
Because that way, if you drink it with food, you're gonna finish it quicker, and you're not gonna. It's not gonna stay out. And I really just wanted to interrupt your.
Yeah, you did a great job.
I think so.
Nobody remembers where they can find me.
No,
but
Gavin, where can everybody find you?
It's fine, Josh.
No,
I don't matter.
Do it again. Where can everybody find you?
You
can find me on Instagram. No, sorry. On Instagram and Twitter at Gavin Otteson Art. Because you don't
technically
do
that's true, but my last tweet was probably 2 years ago at this point, so I don't really tweet because I'm not a twit. I am just IG basically, but you can also find me co-hosting the Podcateers podcast, and you can find Podcateers on all the things.
Yeah, and if Gavin's super cool, he'll send me the links so I can put those in the show notes because I'm not going to dig for myself because I'm lazy.
There's a chance I'm super cool.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. You can find the podcast on Instagram at Animation Station Podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're going to have to do it.
On Twitter at Animate Podcast.
Facebook Animation Station Podcast. All of our episodes are available on iTunes.
And Stitcher.
Podbean.
Google Play.
And... Oh wait, I
stumped yourself.
I was waiting. It's like Podbean, Google Play, YouTube.
There we go. There's more than that. Are you on Himalaya? animationstationpodcast.com. That's a thing.
Correct. Yep.
Website.
Yeah. Be sure and like, subscribe, do all the things. And if you like us on YouTube, be sure and smash that like button.
Ring that notification bell.
Ring that notification bell. Turn on notifications on so that bell ring.
Fun times. Go through all the steps to do all the things to get all the notifications.
Yep.
And all the rings.
Amen. God bless us, everyone. It's like the Queen.
The worst Tiny Tim ever.
Yeah, I'm 30. God bless us, everyone.
Word.
Where are they from?
England?
England forever.
England forever. Wow. That was the worst mashup.
That was the worst.
Ever conceived.
Yeah. All right, so for the Animation Station Podcast, I'm Josh.
I'm Gavin.
Bye-bye, little butterfly.
Made you look.